Good morning, students. I welcome you all for our English session of today. It is long since we met. Last Monday and Tuesday, due to this puja, we enjoyed as holidays, and so we don't have English class. How are you, children? Hope you are doing fine. Preparing your lessons with dedication and sincerity. Preparing for your tests also. Right. Now, in the previous class, about the Tennyson, Alfred Lord Tennyson's Ulysses we have completed, and we are at the last line. Hope you remember that poem. And Ulysses has an unquenchable thirst for travel, and he wanted to explore many things, and he invites his friends to come to the shore for a further visit, exploration, right? And that last two lines, which made the critics to write pages after pages about this Alfred Lord Tennyson's views on writing these lines: to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. It is a boost to the youngsters, young people who have a willingness to explore and find out new things in our life. So each and every day we have to explore new things in our life. We must learn so many things in our life. We have to strive hard. Don't give up. Strive hard to seek, to find out, and not to yield. You should not surrender. There may be difficulties in between, but don't surrender yourself for the circumstances and be a coward. Go ahead, facing all the difficult situations in your life. Right. Now, in that page number 130, the summary of this thing is given. I'll just read it out and we fill it up. The words in brackets are fullest, unquenchable, page number 131 it is, unattainable, experience, knowledge, king, matters, rust, adventure, unwilling, travel, breathing. I'll read it out and you just make a mark of it. Ulysses is unwilling to discharge his duties as a king, as he longs for adventure. He is filled with an unquenchable thirst for travel and wishes to live life to the fullest. He has traveled far and wide, gaining experience of various places, cultures, men, and matters. He recalls with delight his experience at the Battle of Troy. Enriched by his knowledge, he longs for more, and his quest seems endless. Like metal, which would rust if unused, life without adventure is meaningless. According to him, living is not merely breathing to stay alive. Though old but stressful, Ulysses looks at every hour as a bringer of new things and yearns to follow knowledge even if it is unattainable. Now the next words in brackets are prudence, kingdom, quest, tender. Ulysses desires to hand over his kingdom to his son Telemachus, who would fulfill his duties towards his subjects with care and prudence. Telemachus possesses patience and has a will to civilize the citizens of Ithaca in a tender way. Ulysses is happy that his son would do his work blamelessly and he would pursue his quest for travel and knowledge. The next words in brackets are world, thunder, meaningful, gather, untaunted, heaven. Ulysses beckons his sailors to gather at the port where the ship is ready to sail. His companions, who have faced um, both thunder and sunshine with a smile, are united by their undying spirit of adventure. Though death would end everything, Ulysses urges his companions to join him and sail beyond the sunset and seek a newer world regardless of consequences. These brave hearts, who had once moved heaven and earth, may have grown old and weak physically, but their spirit is young and undaunted. His call is an inspiration for all those who seek true knowledge and strive to lead meaningful lives. Now go through the appreciation and ERC questions and prepare yourself with this lesson, right? So the next one is supplementary reader, that is The Midnight Visitor. Who will visit us at midnight? The title of it tells us that it is something related to robbery, theft. A midnight visitor. Usually, other than some urgent businesses, people will never visit us at midnight. Am I right, children? Right. Here, there is a story about a midnight visitor. It is written by Robert J. Arthur. He was a writer who wished to write detective stories, books on detectives. And he was a very famous writer who was awarded so many awards for his writings. He used to write radio scripts for television and radios, and he was awarded that Edgar Award by the American government. Right? A Midnight Visitor, written by Robert J. Arthur. Robert J. Arthur. He is a 20th century writer who is very famous for his detective stories. Right? Now, I will tell you the gist of it. Usually, we will just, when, for example, if you see a photographer, he will have certain outward appearance. How the photographer looks like, with a curious, eager eyes, right? Very busy, brisk. Very often he goes inside the camera, comes back, he adjusted the people, says smile please, put up your head a little, lower your nose, all these stupid things he will say. By seeing him itself, we could understand that he is a photographer. A teacher has certain identity, right? A doctor, he has certain identity with a stethoscope and all these things, right? So, just like that, this story tells us about a detective matter. That is, there are 4 characters involved in this story. One is Oswald. Oswald is a detective. He is a detective. And he is a very fat man. Usually, as I said, detectives will be very slim, healthy, brisk, curious. But this man is not like that, but he is a detective. Very fat, very casual, carefree. The very appearance of him will never give you a picture that he is a detective, right? Then Fowler is a writer. Fowler is a writer who wanted to get some ideas for writing about detectives stories from our Ausable. So he has come to meet Ausable there. The next character is Max. Max is a criminal who came there to steal something from Ausable, right? And Henry is a boy, hotel boy, who came there to help our Ausable. These are the 4 characters involved in this story. Now I will give you the gist of it, and for further details you just go through the story, you will easily understand it, right? Ausable was a detective. He is very fat, and the very appearance of him is not like a detective. He is not at all like a detective. As I said, no identity of a detective at all. He had a room in the 6th floor of a French hotel. He has a room in the 6th floor of a French hotel. And it is a very old building, and it was a very cheap building. Usually these detectives will never take this type of buildings. So it is a very cheap building which is at the topmost 6th floor, and it is very cheap, unworthy of a detective's status of life. Hope you understand, right? It is unworthy of a detective's status of life. So he is there. Fowler, as I said, he was a writer. He wanted to write a book on detectives. So he wanted to write something about detectives. So he came to meet Ausable to get some ideas about his writing from him. But after meeting this Ausable, he feels that he is totally wrong in visiting this man to get ideas. By seeing the outward appearance of him, he just thought that I have just entered a wrong place. He was very much disappointed by seeing Ausable, a fat man, living in a very low, cheap building, which is not at all suitable for a detective. He expected Ausable to be a person like James Bond, a famous detective writer. He expected him to be a famous person like James Bond. But here he could not see even a small symptom of James Bond in this Ausable, right? And Ausable could speak French, and he is speaking German language also. But he has an American accent to it. He speaks French and German with an American accent, right? What is that American accent? When English people speak, they speak that what we are following, but when the American speaks, they speak through the nose with an American accent. English people with the English accent. When Tamil people speak English, with the Tamil accent will speak. When Kerala people says, they say Kottayam college padichole knowledge kittatullu, right? Right. O sound. That is their accent. So with the American accent, he speaks French and German. And now Fowler and Ausable, they were talking about, since he has come here, there is no other go. So he was sitting there and talking with his friend. And after talking for some time, this Ausable invited him to his room. So he went to his room of the hotel, hotel room and he opened the door. After opening the door, they were shocked to see a person standing there with a pistol in hand. And before that, Oswald told Fowler that he is waiting here in this midnight because he is going to get an important paper today that will change the whole course of history. That will change the whole course of history. So today he is going to get a paper. Several men and women were after that paper. So I am waiting for that paper. He said it is about some missile or something like that. So I am waiting for that paper. So saying, he went and switched on the light. When he switched on the light, he found that a person is standing there with a pistol in hand. With a pistol in hand. So if you and I were there, what will be our reaction? We'll be howling, shouting and crying like anything, and will make the whole world to come and gather around us, right? But here, and that man was holding a pistol in his hand. It is an automatic pistol. Oswald was very much shocked to see him, but he did not reveal his shock to him. He said, "I thought you were in Berlin, but you have come here." At this time, Fowler also was very much frightened by seeing this man with a pistol in his hand. Now, Oswald very calmly, very politely, very cunningly, very conveniently, he adjusted the situation. He cooked up a false story of a balcony next to the window. He said there is a balcony by the side of this window. He sat in an armchair and started saying that it was second time in the month that somebody has got into his room without his knowledge. This is the second time in a month that some person, a newcomer, a visitor has come to my room without my knowledge. It is all because of this balcony. Because of the balcony which is there by the side of the window. And that balcony is actually not this building's balcony. It is the next adjacent building's balcony, which is just touching this window. And I have made so many complaints to the hotel authorities to change that balcony from there, demolish it, but they did not listen to me. It is just below my window, right? And because of this balcony, very often I am getting into trouble and some newcomers enter my room through this balcony. The hotel management has failed to close it. I have made several attempts, but they have failed to close it. I have made many complaints. Many times I have made complaints, but they are not listening to me. At this time, Oswald showed a little anger and disappointment. Max totally believed him. That criminal, Max, who holds a pistol in his hand, totally believed the words of Oswald. What is the words of Oswald? That is, there is a balcony by the side of this window, and through that very often people enters the room of this detective. And today, and he also said that today one person will come here to report about the missiles. One important paper he brings today about the missiles. As they were talking like this, Ausable was talking something. He is cooking up some new stories to confuse Max maybe. Max actually has come there using a duplicate key, and he opened it and entered there knowing very well that today he is going to get an important paper, and he wished to take away that paper, wanted to take it off. That is why he has entered there. And this poor man, our writer, Fowler, he believes both this Max and our Ausable. He doesn't know what to do, what is happening. He was also standing there. As they were standing like this, they could hear a knock at the door. Somebody was knocking at the door. Ausable said, "See, today is an important day. I am going to get an important paper about a missile which will change the whole atmosphere of the world in future. That much value that paper has. So, I have asked the police people to escort me, to give protection to me. So, they might have come to protect me in this night, since I have that paper with me. So, I have asked them to provide security for me. So, they have come here." He told Max that the police will enter the room, and if they see you with a pistol, at once they will fire you. If they see you with fully armed, they will fire you. Max doesn't know what to do. He has the automatic pistol in his hand, and he is saying that he is going to get the important paper. That paper only he wished to steal today from him. And he totally believed the words of Ausable. And he went near the window. Again, that knock at the door is heard. He just went near the window and threw the pistol to Ausable and Fowler. He just gave the pistol to them. He just threw it. Then he just slowly went near the window, climbed up the window, and just jumped into the balcony. Right? And when he jumps into the balcony, a loud cry is heard from there. You could hear a loud cry. Right? Now, the door opened and a waiter entered the room. A waiter enters the room with a bottle and 2 glasses. Before coming to this room, Ausable has asked that man, that hotel boy, to bring 2 bottles and with a bottle to drink and 2 glasses. Fowler was very much shocked to see this. He asked Ausable about Max. He was with us, he will be in the balcony. Ausable said, he will never return. Again, Max will never return. And he must have gone forever from this world. Thus, Ausable proved himself to be a true detective. Hope you understand. The thing is, actually there is no balcony there. Just to make up the situation, since he was an efficient detective, He just cooked up the story that there is a balcony there, and through that balcony 2 times in a month people enters there, robbers enter there. I made a it is actually not belonging to this people, this owners, yet I made a complaint, but they have not come forward to remove that balcony from that place. But actually there is no balcony. This man, our Max, believed that there is a balcony, and so just to escape from the police people, he just jumped from the 6th floor. And since there is no balcony, he just fell to the ground and he might have died. Now here, Oswald proves himself to be a true detective through this, in this story, through his techniques. See, by seeing a man with a pistol in the middle of the room, he did not get frightened. He slowly adjusted the situation and very calmly he told him that, I thought you will be in Berlin, but it is a wonder that you have come here at night. And he said, since I have a very valuable paper about the missile, I asked security to the government, and they might have sent the security, and they were knocking at the door. And if they see you with a pistol, they will shoot you then and there. So this Max believed the words of Oswald, and he jumped to escape from the situation. Right? By his wit, with his intelligence, Oswald adjusted the difficult situation and proved himself to be a total, true detective. We people also, in our day-to-day life, we are facing so many people. Appearances are deceptive. There is a saying, appearances are deceptive. See this, even this Fowler did not believe him to be a detective by seeing his fat body and by seeing his building. Even he could not believe that, but he proved himself to be a very good detective, right? In our day-to-day life also, we come across so many types of people who are teaching you so many things in our life. By seeing some people, we will just have a map in our mind. Oh, this person will be like this. This person will have this qualities only. By seeing his dressing, appearance, hairstyle, way of walking, way of talking. But actually that person will be entirely somebody else. Totally different from our perspective. So, don't judge people by seeing their outward appearances. Right? That is the moral that you learn from this story, The Midnight Visitor by Robert Arthur. Right? Hope you understand the story. It is a cooked up story of Oswald. Since he is a detective, he could cook up the story. Otherwise, it is not possible. It is not possible. Since he is a detective, he just adjusted the situation and very quietly, very calmly, he adjusted the situation and made that man to jump into the deep depth and finish off his life. Right? And now, this man, Fowler, who has been thinking him of a false detective, he felt that I have just come to the wrong place to collect information about detectives. Now understood that he is a very good detective. Right? Now go through the story, and if you have any doubt, you just clear it off. Okay? Now take your textbook. There is one or two exercises. Look at in page number 138. Look at the following expressions used in the story. Match them with their meaning. Let down, chuckle to himself, take cheer, raise the devil, black with anger, take chances. The words in the next column is to complain or scold, try one's luck or take risk, become enraged, disappointed, laugh softly to himself, to be encouraged. What is let down? Disappointed. Chuckle to himself. Chuckle means laughing. Laugh softly to himself. Take cheer, to be encouraged. Raise the devil, to complain or scold. Black with anger, become enraged. Take chances, try one's luck, take a risk. Now, here is a list of some espionage agencies of some countries. Name of the agency: RA, Research and Analysis Wing; CIA, Central Intelligence Agency; MI6, Military Intelligence Section 6; Mossad, the Institute for Intelligence and Special Operation; ASIS, Australian Secret Intelligence Service; MSS, Ministry of State Security; FSB, Federal Security Bureau of Russian Federation. So, read this, and sometimes you may get abbreviations regarding from this. Now, children, some one-word question test, one-word test, slip test like you may get in future very soon. And the portion for that one-word test is in your 11th standard question paper. There is first 20 questions: synonyms, antonyms, abbreviations, phrasal verbs, clipping, blending, articles, prepositions, all these things, abbreviations, acronyms, error spotting, tense, all these things. So based on that, the questions are framed. So for that one-word test, synonyms and antonyms from the completed lessons, and the other items based on the 11th questions paper, you have to prepare yourself. Hope you understand. And after that, don't ask what is the portion, how we are based all the portions that we have completed only. Just revise it using your guide, right? That workbook that I have asked you to buy, right? Do you have any doubt in this? It is the talent, skill of that man or Sibyl to overcome the difficulties in his crisis, right? If he has not used his intelligence, wit, this man would have shot these two people, shot them to death, and he might have got the paper regarding the missile also. So by his clever trick, he has cooked up a story, 2 stories then and there, and wind up that situation handled it very successfully, and killed that person, saying that there is a balcony there. This man, Max, believed that there is a balcony, and he finished off his life, right? Hope you understood this. And the next one is the next prose lesson. You have to go a little faster. The next prose lesson is the status of Tamil as a classical language. The status of Tamil as a classical language. It is written by George L. Hart. Written by George L. Hart. What is classical language? In Tamil we say it as Chammoli. See, in one of my videos also I told her, when we speak of our Tamil, our language, we really feel proud to say that we are Tamilians. See, when we were in that school level, our Tamil teacher tortured us like anything by teaching this Tirukkural. Right? When we are learning that Tirukkural, we do not know the meaning of it. Correct, children? Yes. But when we see the meaning of it, we have answers for almost all the questions that we face in this world today in that Tirukkural. Right? Let us see the remaining in the next class. Bye, children.